Since the launch of Skyrim's paid mod system, dubbed Creations, back in late 2023, we've only seen a few additions to their lineup. Today, we're taking a look at the latest creation to join the program, Silent Moon Weapons, by the Rizzler. There's gotta be a certain level of confidence to apply for the Bethesda verified creator program with the username The Rizzler, so good for them on that. This new creation, priced at 600 credits, approximately $6 US, is available for both PC and Xbox, and adds a new dungeon along with 9 new pieces of gear belonging to this Lunar lineup. This includes 8 weapons and 1 shield, all sporting completely new models and textures, which really look alien compared to the rest of the weapons in the game. To get started, you'll need to find the new Silent Grove Cave, located within the Vanilla Cave Lost Prospect Mine. Oh, that was easy enough to find. I immediately step into Lost Prospect Mine, and just right here, immediately to your right, is Silent Moon's Grove. I'm just gonna grab the potion and the fish. Why not? I was wondering if it was gonna be easy to find. I was wondering how easy it would be to find this new location, and yeah. Man, someone else should have found this thing. Someone else should have come in here and found all this before me. Started the Silent Grove. Find the entrance to the Silent Grove. I think I did that. I think I might have done that by now. Am I technically not in the grove already? Nice ice you got there. No, you're not hostile? Okay, there you are. Alright. I was wondering. I was waiting. Oh, is that a frozen stag? Like a frozen deer? Did you do that? Was this your doing somehow? No? Alright, well they're not talking. That's kinda cool. I like that. I was kinda getting a little bit of a flashback, though, to the Dawnguard DLC, the Falmer, the rabid Falmer that would just be frozen in ice and then have a chance to just pop out and say hey. There's like a slight purple line on that, so that's kind of weird because clearly this isn't missing like a full texture. Is it missing like a very small strip of something? Never thought I'd be shifting stone for a Khajiit, but his coin was good, so here we mine. He says he's holding on to the rest of it until he's found what he's looking for, and we're safely back out of the cave. I'm not sure what he thinks we are, but we are not swords for hire. Nor are we cart horses, but that doesn't stop him from sitting there spurring us all day, urging us to work faster while lounging around himself. We agreed amongst ourselves if things go awry, or he finds himself unhappy with whatever lies past his threshold, we'll be taking the rest of the coin regardless, payback for his ill-judged words. Anything in this? Anything in here? Ooh, 3 gold. I mean, hey, gold is gold, I'll take it. I'm not gonna say no. Okay, I was gonna say we had a couple ways to go, but nope, that is blocked off. We've got a little bit of a landslide, but we could go this way. Draugr? Any Draugr? No, no Draugr. Okay. I'm hoping this means we do go into a bit of a Nordic ruin. It looks like we're still in part of the Nordic ruin, if nothing else. I'm also just checking to see that I don't miss any other journals, or at least I'm trying not to miss any other journals, and I'm not sure if we're gonna find the weapons kind of scattered throughout the entire dungeon, or if I'm just gonna find all of them at the very end. Little bit of a fork in the road, although I could see this passage right here leading to that right there. Maybe it circles around? Let me just see. I know this is going up, so maybe not, but I'm just looking. Oh, it did. Look at that. Here we are. Here I go. I'm just gonna drop down on you, alright? If only the game had jump attacks, because that would have been a great jump attack right there. That would have been a great moment right there. Even jumping down, he didn't hear me until I was right behind him anyway. I'm so glad they marked the pull chain for me. Listen, I might be oblivious sometimes, but give me a little credit. Oh. Okay. I heard some howling wind and my vision got blurry for a second. Oh, more of the frozen animals. Here we go. I don't know why that's so exciting to me. It just... The way that, you know, we had that door open and we saw the little bit of frost and everything. The very brief moment of frost hearing the wind as I opened the door. Just immediately my mind kind of went back to Labyrinthian when, you know, your magicka is just sucked from you and you hear the voices. I'm kind of imagining something like that taking place here, of just getting this whirlwind of frost. Yeah, let me look around. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. But I have a feeling that we're kind of gonna get all the weapons at once, rather than having them be scattered around. I think I saw a glimpse of a forge. Yep, there's a forge. Can I use it? Oh, it's completely dead. And, okay, yep. Kinda like I suspected. It's just all here. Which I'll show off every single weapon. I'll show off every single weapon in detail and whatnot, but that is a little underwhelming. And yeah, the Khajiit. There's the Khajiit. He's dead. I'll take a quick look to see if there is another note, another journal or anything, because it looks like there's still more around here, but oh, here we go. What do we have here? Journal of Vashahir. Day 6, Vashahir can scarcely believe the sight. Such verdant beauty in a forge so unmarred, it may as well have been producing arms only yesterday. As expected, this place is steeped in appreciation for the moons. As this one stands here, they are visible up above. Khajiit is struck with new inspiration. Work begins right away. Day 8, these weapons are unlike anything this one has forged before. Khajiit is but a novice in the art of enchanting, yet somehow a power has been imbued upon them that this one does not fully understand. A considerable heat pours out from the blade when night falls and moons emerge. The passageway into the grove is frozen seemingly overnight, and this one has been cut off from the others. All the better, as Khajiit believes them to have had ill intent anyway. The cold is becoming more and more vicious, and all that can be done to stave it off is to keep working. Luckily, this one was carrying all of the provisions. Too cold to write, Khajiit must finish his work. Yeah, So the forge was working when he was here, when he was in here. We had like a snowfall or an avalanche or something that sealed the miners off, but I've just waltzed right in here without issue. And we can't repair or restore the forge either. Alright, so here we go. Here are the new weapons. Silent Moon Battle Axe. When the moons are out, absorb 15 points of health and burn the target for 15 points. Well, I think all the weapons, or rather all the traditional melee weapons, have the same enchantment. It's the true Silent Moon enchantment. For the staff, a Gout of Scarlet Fire that does 15 points of damage per second. Targets on fire take extra damage. When the moons are out, absorb health for 10 points. You got the War Axe, you got the Warhammer, and then we also have the shield. The Silent Moon Shield, when the moons are out and while blocking, creates a ward that protects against spells for up to 60 points in return for a portion of your health. So it does have that trade-off as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to a working forge, get to somewhere that I can actually do crafting, and I'll see if it's possible to improve these weapons, what material you would need to improve them. And if you can create non-enchanted versions, although, once again, I doubt it because you probably had to create them here, and it's probably not possible anywhere else. So one thing I did notice is that I didn't get the sword. The sword wasn't here with the other items. It's not in the forge. Let me find that. That's so odd that it wouldn't be on him with everything else. I mean, the quest is done, so I think I just have to look for it. It's just gonna be a little bit of a, needle in a haystack situation here. Out of curiosity, I reloaded to before I got the weapons, and yeah, it's not that I missed it, it's not that it's here and I just didn't take it. The sword isn't here. I looked around and I didn't see it. I'm gonna take another loop around, but I saw nothing. Didn't think it would do anything, but I just wanted to try and, relight the forge. It doesn't happen. Man, if only you could relight the forge. I tried. I really did. If the sword had been maybe in his grasp or something, sure, but there's no indicator that the sword should be anywhere else. I guess long story short, if you came to this video hoping to find out where the sword is, hoping to find the location of the sword, well, I'm very unhelpful for that. And I'll mention it again in the review, but this is also why I feel like it would be beneficial if we had written reviews as an option for paid mods, for paid creations, because then I could find out if other people who bought this were having trouble finding the sword, because they would just say that in their review. I don't know. Because the other thing I was looking for, I was also looking to see if maybe there was any other miner's journal, because we only found the one journal from them, which did mention they wanted to abandon him and whatnot, but I'm almost imagining if the miners, you know, took the sword with them as some sort of recompense, but once again, there's no real indicator that we're gonna find anything else. With how absurdly straightforward everything else in this was, I just cannot believe that the sword would be this hidden. And there's nothing on the creations page either that indicates that there's more than what we have here. Because I like the idea of, oh, one of the miners like stole the sword and made off with it and you'd have to track it down, but the creations page very much makes it sound like, oh, you find all the items, including the sword, in here and boom, done. Enjoy, go about your day. So the weapons cannot be improved, or at least they can't be improved here in Whiterun. Which I would assume that's going to mean the same for the shield, but let me just be thorough. Let me just take a look. The only other thing I can think of then is if I go to the original Silent Moon's camp and see if they're usable there.
Got that honor. Man's steel is
Let me try that real fast then. My main concern here would be that if you can't improve them, if you can't, you know, enhance them at a grindstone or a workbench, then damage-wise, they're okay, but they're nothing particularly special. And narratively speaking, I can understand why you might not have the materials to improve them, to enhance them, especially when the original forge was destroyed, but balancing wise, it then kind of removes a lot of the usability of the weapons in the long term, especially if you're playing on a higher level character where you're going to have so many more options. You're just limiting the versatility of the weapons kind of right out the gate if they're not able to be improved upon. But yeah, Silent Moon's camp. Moon is out. Let's use this. And I will say that you can see the enchantment kind of glowing on certain parts of the weapons now that, you know, now that the moon is out, you can see the effect from the weapons themselves. So that's nice. That I do like. Also, there is something just style-wise of seeing the red blood kind of contrasted against the very pale white color of the weapons. That's kind of cool. Oh, we got a dragon. Now would be a good opportunity to try out one of the one-handed weapons alongside the shield. Yeah, so here you can see a little bit of the health drain, and it looks like it drains your health only once per ward use. So that I do like. It's not a constant drain on your health, so I think that's a good way to handle it. The amount of health that it drains isn't too bad because my character's health is... okay, 660. So I think it's draining 60 health per attempt, or per use. But, yeah, once again, just kind of shows that damage-wise, the weapons are not the greatest, so they'll be viable against bandits and stuff like that, but might not serve you for very long in an entire playthrough, especially on a little bit of a higher level. And
it'll be so much easier to rob.
Out of curiosity, what difficulty am I even on right now? Okay, this is on expert, so yeah, against the dragon, I can understand a little bit more about that, but
it's nothing.
Even still, just damage-wise, I feel like I would need to be able to improve these weapons, especially with this being a paid pack. Right now, the cost in particular is kind of like the big sticking point for me, because, yeah, $6, and I would barely consider that a dungeon.
I cannot best you.
I feel like dungeon's a little bit of a stretch to describe what we went through for these.
Go ahead, try and fight back.
The staff I do like. Staff, well, once again, damage-wise, not anything great, but the weapons themselves I do like, and the enchants on them I do like. It's that I feel that there's a lot of other ways you could have gone with this to make the price point feel better, to make the price point much more fair. Yeah, this is just gonna take a while. So, let's swap to the Greatsword. Alright. And I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, if I will be able to improve the weapons here. But I just want to be thorough. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything at all before I give you my full review. Yep, that's kind of what I thought, is kind of what I expected, but I was really hoping that I was going to be wrong. Oh, I was really, really, really hoping I was going to be wrong about that. Okay, alright. Yeah, seeing the red on the sword itself, seeing, like, the color on the weapons, that's really cool, and having them kind of change color and change effect from day to night, that's a fantastic touch. That's really nice attention to detail. I feel like we could have paid so much more attention to detail in other parts of this that then really would have benefited the mod as well. Creation as well. I think conceptually this is a really cool idea for creation, but I also think in terms of execution it really falls flat given the price point. I would barely consider the lead up to the weapons a dungeon. 4 wolves, 2 trolls, and a couple ice wraiths is a real stretch for a paid dungeon. Having the gear in one spot at the end of the cave, with no way to either create unenchanted variants or improve upon the ones you get, feels like the experience is severely underbaked. I'm still operating on the assumption that the sword is supposed to spawn in at the same place, because I could not for the life of me find it anywhere else. And the creations page makes it sound like it should be in the same cave. Balancing wise, not having the ability to improve the weapons limits the functionality of them for a full playthrough. I understand if the idea story-wise is that you not only need that one forge, but maybe even specific materials in order to create these weapons. But if that's the case, please give us that. Give us a quest to restore the forge, or to find whatever new materials are needed in order to craft the weapons. It would have been much more satisfying if maybe you find a single Silent Moon's weapon alongside the Frozen Khajiit, and from his notes, you're then able to repair the forge and continue his work by crafting the rest of the set. Given the name Silent Moon Weapons, I feel like the connection to the original vanilla location exists solely in the enchantments themselves. The new cave is nowhere near the Lunar Forge, and there's no mention of it at all in the entire creation. I feel like a much better way to do this would have been for the real forge, the one that we find that crafted these new weapons, was found in an old ruin beneath Silent Moon's camp. In the base game, Silent Moon's camp is a really interesting location, if not a bit underutilized, and I like the idea that weapons imbued with the true Silent Moon's enchantment would be much different in terms of materials and appearance than the iron and steel weapons available in the vanilla game. The weapons and shield themselves look really cool, and I love how unique they look. They feel very alien and different from any other set in the game, which I think makes them stand out as this almost otherworldly set. The models are high quality, and the little details such as the colors changing when the moon is out shows a level of care and creativity. A Khajiit, a race which deeply reveres the moon, being the one to take such an interest in forging these weapons is a great way of playing into the lore, and finding his frozen body at the end is also a really nice touch. But once again, price-wise, this is ridiculously steep at 600 credits. This puts the Silent Moon's weapon pack at the same price point as the Arquebus, the gun creation which I previously covered. This adds a dungeon that'll take more than an hour to clear, with different weapons and gear staggered throughout, a boss battle at the end, and the ability to craft the weapon, variants of it, and its new ammo type as well. And I know that each creator sets the price themselves, but when you even compare this to some of the original Creation Club packs, Silent Moon's weapons is still priced higher than many of the comparable packs there. And I know it sounds like I'm really down on this, and it's absolutely the most critical I've been of any of the paid creations that I've played so far. And I've really enjoyed some of them too. East Empire expansion was great, the Arquebus was a welcome surprise, with the dungeon being my favorite part of it. Dwemer Delves wasn't my favorite for pacing, but it absolutely gave me enough content per dollar spent. At close to $6 US, I was expecting more from this, and I think most of us would. I continue to say that we need a review system in place for paid creations. Whether it's something as simple as seeing the number of thumbs up versus thumbs down, or maybe a 1 to 5 star rating system, or even adding in written reviews. Any one of these would go a long way towards helping players know what they're getting into before buying. But until that day comes, I guess videos like this will have to stand in for that. But as always, let me know what you think. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the Patreon or the YouTube memberships, both of which get access to the Discord server. YouTube members also get access to the channel emotes, which can be used in the comments below. And make sure to check out the streams at twitch.tv/0periodproductions. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.